Freedom of the press. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution says that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. Freedom of speech is the liberty to speak openly without a fear of government restraint. It's closely linked to freedom of the press because this freedom includes both the right to speak and the right to be heard. In the United States, both the freedom of speech and freedom of press are commonly called freedom of expression. Freedom of the press protects the right to obtain and publish information or opinions without government censorship or fear of punishment. Censorship occurs when the government examines publications and productions and prohibits the use of material it finds offensive. Freedom of press applies to all types of printed and broadcasted material, including books, newspapers, magazines, pamphlets, films, and radio and television programs. The Constitution's framers provided the press with a broad freedom. This freedom was considered necessary to the establishment of a strong, independent press, sometimes called the fourth branch of the government. An independent press can provide citizens with a variety of information and opinions on matters of public importance. However, freedom of press sometimes collides with other rights, such as defendants' right to a fair trial or a citizen's right to privacy. In recent years, there has been increasing concern about extremely aggressive journalism, including stories about people's sexual lives and photographs of people when they were in a private setting. In the United States, the government may not prevent the publication of a newspaper, even when there is a reason to believe that it is about to reveal information that will endanger our national security. By the same token, the government cannot pass a law that requires a newspaper to publish information against their will, imposing criminal penalties or civil damages on the publication of truthful information about a matter of public concern, or even on the dissemination of false and damaging information about public persons except in rare instances. Impose taxes on the press that it does not levy on other businesses. Compel journalists to reveal, in most circumstances, the identities of their sources. Prohibit the press from attending judicial proceedings and thereafter information the public about them. Collectively, this bundle of rights, largely developed by U.S. Supreme Court decisions, defines the freedom of the press, guaranteed by the First Amendment. What we mean by the freedom of the press is in fact an evolving concept. It is a concept that informed by the preceptions of those who crafted the press clause in an era of pamphlets, political tracts, and periodically newspapers, and by the views of Supreme Court justices who have interpreted that clause over the past 2 centuries in a world of daily newspapers, books, magazines, motion pictures, radio and television, broadcast, and now websites and international posting.
This is news with Mohammed Sabah and followed by Paul Buglete.
Hey, welcome to Channel 2012. This is Paul Buglete, and what's up, Paul?
Nothing much.
Oh yeah, basically today we're going to talk about freedom of press, and you see all the people in the streets protesting against the freedom. They want freedom of press, they want to express their ideas.
Yeah, it's crazy out there.
Yeah. So let's get into our news. Sweeping protests around the world made it extremely difficult here for the media and tested journalists never before. The annual report into press freedom reveals. The annual report by Reporters Without Borders has been released, showing the United States fell 27 points on the list due to the many arrests of journalists covering Occupy Wall Street protests. The slide in the United States places it just behind Comoros and Taiwan in a group with Afghanistan and Romania. So,
Cool story, bro.
problem.
Reporters Without Borders said that heightened unrest around the world resulted in an insignificant shakeup of the group's annual Press Freedom Index, which assesses government's commitment to protecting media freedoms. The Paris, based on non-governmental Reporters Without Borders, has named Crackdown the word of 2011 in assessment of global media freedom during a year in which journalists covering sweeping protests were tested as never before. The non-governmental organization seeks to defend journalists' freedom to work and combat censorship and international.
Okay, are you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. As you can see, we interviewed some people from
We need freedom of press. We need freedom to express ourselves without restriction. Yeah! The world must know that we must publish without having to be punished for what we say.
The government should not limit our freedom of press.
As a journalist, I need to express my ideas to the people without punishment.
1, 2, 3.
Yo, people, wake up from the darkness.
Today's Insider, our journalist Antoine is down in Cali, he's down by Compton, pretty dangerous place, you don't want to be there, interviewing a lawyer down from LA, and his name is Sugar Free Chewy.
Hello, Sugar Free Chewy Kaka. How are you today?
Pretty good, and you?
I'm very good.
Nice.
So I'm here. I'm the captain today to get you some kind of questions about the freedom of press.
Alright, let's do this, man.
All right. So first of all, what is the freedom of press?
Freedom of press. Freedom of press is when media, newspapers, or whatever kind of media there is out there in the world can publish whatever they want. That's what freedom of press is.
Yeah. And then I have a second question. What do you think about the freedom of press?
What do I think about freedom of press?
Yeah.
I think they're doing their thing, man. They're doing their thing out there. And basically, I don't know, I just wouldn't like them to be in my case, you know. But yeah, I mean, freedom of press, they're allowed to do their thing, and it's understandable for every kind of situation that they share to the public. And it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting what they do, you know.
Yeah.
Props.
I'm with you with that.
Alright.
Alright, and then the third question is, do you know any cases that went through about the freedom of press, like last 50 years or up to 100 years ago?
Yes, I do. Well, it can't be 100 years because we've been started. But yeah, I know one. Shepard versus Maxwell. That was one big one in 1966. Was when Shepard was in trial for killing his wife.
That was bad.
That was back in 1966.
Yeah.
Oh, was that bad? Yes, that was bad. Yeah, he was in trial for killing his wife, and the last thing I remember, there was a journalist named Maxwell, and he was putting out in the media that he was guilty, and Shepard pressed charges on him. So therefore, it converted into Shepard versus Maxwell, and that will land it on the freedom of press. Definitely wrong.
Alright, Mr. Chewy, please, Kaka. Thank you for your interview.
You're welcome. Rack City.
Rack City.
All day. the rest.
Yeah.
It's all about freedom of press.
Okay.
We have Chaldean League and the soccer league down the street. Pretty much, that's it. How look? Do I look good? Do it?
Yeah.
Damn, this is awesome. Alright, appreciate it.
Yeah, so where
Thank you, Antoine, for going to Captain, and we know that is a dangerous place to be. What do you think, Paul?
Can we start all over again?
Album coming out soon. You know what I'm saying?